What is up, YouTube? It's Kingfisher745, and in this video I'm going to show you the recruitment of Elektra, her comic cover collection, and also her story. And then we're going to take a brief first look at her in combat. So stay tuned for that. That'll be coming in the second part of the video. But first, this is her recruitment dialogue. Whoever you need killed, I'll do it. Doesn't matter how dangerous it is. Remember, I've died once already. It wasn't that bad. Now onto the comic covers. I wasn't too unlucky this time around. I got a few duplicates. But the only thing that's weird is I haven't gotten any of the items or weapons. The very first cover is Daredevil Volume 1, number 168. The second cover is another Daredevil comic, Volume 1, number 181. And this one was by Frank Miller. Thirdly, we have Dark Reign, Elektra Volume 1, number 1. And this issue actually ties in with the current special operations. The fourth cover is the very last one that I had to get, and that's Elektra Volume 2, number 1. And this one took quite a while. It actually caused me my most duplicates. Then we have Elektra Volume 2, number 3. And we're going to be following this cover up with another Elektra Volume 2. This time it's number 22. Now on to the seventh cover, and that one is Elektra the Hand, Volume 1, number 1. And last but not least, it's probably the cover with my favorite artwork, and that's the New Avengers Volume 1, number 27. So that's all the covers. Let me know which one, if any, that you're missing in the comment section below. Now on to the storyline. It's a pretty interesting story. But while this is going through the dialogue, I'm going to go ahead and talk a little bit about the character. I have been leveling her, and I do plan on doing a full character review as soon as possible. So far I think she has a lot of potential. I love the fact that internal bleeding cannot be removed. And this of course goes very nicely with a bleed team. So far I've enjoyed using this character with Wolverine and X-23. And as far as weapon sets, more recently I've been using the Kazuri, Cat's Claws, the Custom Sword of the Barony, and Warbringer Axe. The only thing is my Cat's Claws are really outdated. They're not the new ones, they're from a long time ago when they were first released. The sad thing is it would actually be cheaper to buy a new pair, rather than reforge the old ones. But regardless, I really do like this weapon set with this team. And there are a ton of other bleed items that are all pretty good. And when I say this team, I do mean X-23 and Elektra, although I like Wolverine with her quite a bit as well. There's just something about Wolverine and all his potential procs, and then also the fact that he has a stealthy stun. There are also some other very good potential team-ups, including the new Spec Ops hero, Ares. But as we're coming to the end of Elektra's story, I'm going to go ahead and let you know that the first team-up is with Wolverine. So let's go ahead and jump right into the battle. We're using Wolverine as a scrapper in his brown and tan costume. Then on my agent, we're using the Tactician Power Armor. We're also using the Kazuri Cat's Claw Custom Sword and Warbringer Axe, as I mentioned earlier. With our agent, we will start out by using the Cat's Claw, and that's because it has a chance at a follow-up attack. So you're going to go ahead and hit, put bleeding on the target, and then you may get a follow-up attack and put a second bleeding stack. So that's why we start out with it. With Elektra, we only have her level 1 heavy size, but it's a pretty nice ability. It causes internal bleeding and hemorrhage to proc right away. Right after this enemy blaster hits my agent, he does proc a Cat's Claw counterattack, as well as a Red and Tooth heal, and that's from the Kazuri. The Cat's Claws counterattack with the hemorrhaging attack, so it's going to cause bleed applications to trigger. And I was pretty tempted to get a new set of Cat's Claws, because I like the item, and also the damage on it looked pretty sweet. And that's because a new pair would be at the level 310, 10 levels above my level. So even if I reforged them for 48 gold, they would only go up to level 300. Instead, right now I could buy a new pair for 44 gold, and they would be a level 310. Still, I'm thinking I would rather reforge the Kazuri, or possibly get the new 64 gold item that'll come out. It may be a very good part of the Vindication set. It's a really tough decision, but I'll have to make up my mind pretty soon. Now on this second wave, I'm going to go ahead and start the attack with the Cat's Claw. And then I'm going to get a second attack, do the tactical maneuvers. This time I'm going to use the custom sword of the Barony. That'll finish the blaster, and it heals my entire team, since he had bleed on him. And if you don't know where to get that particular item, it drops off the epic boss in Chapter 11, Mission 3. As far as this current battle, it's about to be over. And when we move on to the next threat, we're going to use Elektra and X-23 instead. What I think I'll really like about that team up is whenever Elektra has her level 6 ability, she'll have an AoE that applies internal bleeding to everyone. And then X-23 has an ability that hits everyone as well. So then we'll be applying bleed to the entire enemy team at once. Whenever I do the full character review for Elektra, I'll make sure the team are up with X-23, as well as a few other combinations that I think would be pretty interesting. As far as that Cat's Claw, you do see it counterattacking quite a bit. The only thing is it is really helpful to already have bleed stacks on the enemy, since it does counter with a hemorrhaging attack, and no bleed. Now against that bruiser we finally got a follow-up attack, which is why we were attacking with it first. It plays 2 bleed applications on the target, and that's really helpful with this team up. On X-23's turn, we're going to use Blades of Rage, and that hits the entire opposing team. Then she procced Berserker Rage, so she's going to use Snicked and go ballistic on all of the opponents. When X-23 does this, she's really dangerous, and she can take out an entire opposing team by herself. The last opponent was really lucky to make it out of there alive. But it looks like Elektra's going to be the one to finish him. So now we're going to be moving on to the very last wave of the video. It's going to be a 2-opponent wave, and we should be able to take him out pretty quickly. So let's start by hitting that blaster with the Cat's Claw. Then we're going to get a follow-up move. And with that, we're going to use the custom sword of the Barony, just to go ahead and heal our team once again, and show its healing power. I think that heal really does come in handy, especially in PvE battles. And now on X-23's turn, we're going to use her first ability, which is Snicked. And she actually procs Berserker Rage once again, so she's going to follow that first attack up with the second one. And that ends the battle. It also ends the video. I want to thank you all for watching, and ask you to please like, comment, and subscribe. And make sure to stay tuned because there will be a full character review of Elektra very soon.